Dalton, you're back at it again. You got a tough opponent. I think he's ranked 10th in the world in Bellator. The last guy you beat was 9th. Are you surprised that you're facing up an opponent that's lower ranked than your last opponent after such a dominant performance?
No, Romero Conn was ranked 7th. He got dropped to 9th after I fought him. I was actually ranked behind him. But when you look at the rankings, number 2, Fabian Edwards, he was fighting. Number 3, John Salter, they tried making the fight. He didn't want to take the fight. I don't know what reason. Number 4, Anatoly Tokov is fighting for a title next. I'm number 5. Number 7 is Austin, my teammate. Number 8 is Lorenz Larkin, went down to 170. Number 9 just beat him. So number 10 is the only other person in the top 10 that was willing to fight.
I like how you broke that down. It looks like you got a future as an analyst being at the desk. Something you'd be interested in?
Oh, hell yeah. I'd be interested in that. And I look at all these fighters all the time. I watch their videos. There's potential to fight all of them. So you got to be diligently working towards that and watching the film and knowing where everybody's at.
So you just said that you watch your opponents. Break them down for us.
All of them?
No, your current opponent.
My current opponent? He's athletic. He has a fast jab. He's obviously striking heavy. That's his game plan. That's what he likes to rely on. He does mix in shots here and there. He hasn't been too successful with them. However, even though he trains at altitude, it does seem that he starts to gas in the 3rd round a little bit. He starts to fade, and not profusely. He doesn't gas too hard, but you see him start to fade and he gets uncomfortable. I don't think the fight's going to go that long. I think I'm going to finish him earlier than that. But, I could beat him everywhere. I'm a better striker than him, better wrestler, better grappler, and most of all, I'm better at MMA. This is MMA. I don't label myself as any single one of those classifications, but, this is MMA. You should be good at everything and mixing everything together, and that's exactly what I'm good at, and I plan to impose that on Friday.
As far as I know, you and Az have been kind of very respectful to each other. Your last one, you and Romero had a little trash talk. Do you prefer the trash talk over the respectful, or do you like it more the way it is now?
I really don't care either way. I love trash talk. It's something I feed off of. I grew up playing Call of Duty, and that's all you do in these Call of Duty lobbies. You know what I mean? It's fun. It makes the game more fun. I think it makes fighting more fun. I think it builds anticipation for the fight, for the fans, and for yourself. However, I don't have a preference one way or the other. If he's being respectful, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? But me and Romero Conn, we had some animosity there because he pulled out of 3 fights before that. He wanted to say it was only 1, and he was lying to the media, but we signed the contract multiple times. He pulled out, so that's where the animosity came from and the shit talk back and forth came from, and it led up to our final fight.
My last question, I'm looking at these shoes, I'm looking at this jacket. You're looking sharp, brother. Talk to me about this, man.
So this is David Allen. He's my suit guy, custom suit. He makes suits for me every single fight, but this time we usually work together on the suits, and this time I told him, I was like, just do your thing. I'll wear whatever you come up with. So he made the suit. My idea was the turtleneck, and then I got a black watch, obviously to match as well. And these shoes are Aldo. My girlfriend actually got me these, and I was just going to wear some plain black shoes, but she got me these, and I was like, these actually fit better because this material and how it's shiny, highlighted, you know what I mean? It goes better. So
it's a good girlfriend, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Dotson, you mentioned Call of Duty. I got to ask, what is your favorite Call of Duty game?
Of all time, Modern Warfare 2 for multiplayer, and then Black Ops 1 for zombies.
Oh, yeah.
Where did the nickname Hercules come from?
Several things. The way I'm built, the way I hit. I'm a physically strong person, but dating back to whenever I was boxing in Youngstown, there's a guy in there named Ron, who was one of Muhammad Ali's old sparring partners, actually. And he was always in there hyping guys up, and he was very social. He came down there to get a workout, but also have a good time. And one day, it was actually my first day in the gym. I was hitting pads with Sam Calderon, my boxing coach at the time, and it was just me and him in the ring. Everybody else was doing their own workout, hitting the bags, hitting pads with other coaches. And after the end of the round, I look around during the rest period when we're about to start the 2nd round, and everybody's just surrounded the ring watching me. They all started making comments about how hard I was hitting the pads and how hard I hit, period. And, people ended up watching my workout for the rest of that workout for 4 or 5 rounds on pads, whatever. And everybody was super impressed, and they started labeling me that. I was given that nickname. I didn't choose it myself, but it fits with the way I'm built, and I'm also into Greek mythology, so it worked out.
With a win over Anthony Adams, do you feel that this would earn you maybe a chance at the middleweight title, or maybe starting to have that conversation?
definitely starting to have the conversation. I don't think this is something that'll get me to the title, but who knows? Who knows what Bellator has in store for me? But I would definitely like to get another one against a top 3 opponent. I wanted to fight John Salter. They didn't make that happen. They tried to make it happen. Let me step back for a second, but that didn't come to fruition, whatever the reason was. If I could fight him next or somebody else in the top 3 or top 4, I don't know how these rankings are going to move around after this fight. So we'll see from there, but I think a title shot is in my near future for sure.
Just one fight last year. You win Friday, be 3-0 this year. I mean, I'm assuming that's the kind of pace you like a lot more than just one fight a year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love staying active. I fight better. I improve faster. And, make more money. On top of that, last year, I only fought once because I got injured. A little bit before my fight, I started having issues with my hamstring. During the fight, it got worse. After the fight, it got even worse going back to training. Come to find out, I had herniated discs, multiple, in my lower back. So I ended up having to get a cortisone injection, but I was out for like 3 months from training. They had me doing physical therapy, chiropractor adjustments, and everything to try and get me back to full health without the injections. And then after injections, it would have been surgery. So I was out for 3 to 4 months. And whenever I was ready to come back, timing of the scheduling and everything, like I was ready for November, but that didn't work for them. So I wasn't able to fight until the following year, unfortunately. But they got me booked early in January, so that was okay.
I know you said a few seconds ago that a win Friday probably doesn't get you a title shot, but puts you to 7-0. And if you do 3-0 next year, suddenly you're sitting at 10-0. And we've seen guys with those kinds of records get title shots in your division. I mean, you mentioned Austin, and the champ had a similar record. So do you look that far ahead, and do you say, oh man, this is something that could, this time next year, maybe, who knows, I could be fighting for a title.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be 8-0 after this, so 2 more fights after that would make me 10-0. But I think, yeah, that's definitely a reasonable perception, a reasonable way to look at it. And
is that a way that you look at it?
Yeah. Generally, I'm always looking at the big picture. I never overlook my opponent, so I'm focused on my opponent right now. But there's a bigger picture. You know what I mean? If somebody, like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, or if you're looking to build a wall, you build it brick by brick. You don't build the whole wall in one day. But the overall goal is the wall. If you just go in there, you're like, I don't have a goal, and I'm just going to start laying bricks. What's the point in doing it? You're just laying bricks just for the hell of it. So the goal is to be champion. The goal is to be the best in the world, and I'm taking that one fight at a time, focusing on this fighter right now, but still have the big goal in mind.
Dylan, just one from me. Are you opposed to fighting teammates?
If it's not for title contention or a title fight, yes. I train with these guys every day, and we have a lot of the same coaches. Me and Johnny have all the same coaches. We have the same coaches, we have the same manager, and we train at the same gym. So that might make that a little bit tough if and when we have to fight. But Austin, we have 2 of the same coaches that we work with, and we're pretty good friends. We hang out outside of the gym and stuff, but this is a sport where business comes first. If we have to fight, we have to fight, but I would like it to be for title contention or a title shot.
Now, there's been other situations like this in the past. Would you consider maybe going up to 205?
Me, no. I'm not big enough for 205. I'm only 6 foot tall. Those guys, I mean, if you look at John Jones, he's 6'4", Dominic Reyes, 6'5". Those guys are big. They're tall. There's some tall middleweights, but my tallest fighter or tallest opponent was Tony Johnson at 6'2". That's much more reasonable. I've had some opponents that were shorter than me as well, so I'm right in that middle range, and I like that, because I have a speed advantage over most of these guys too. I'm more explosive, so if they're the same height or only a little bit taller, all things else equal, I'm going to rip their head off.